Good morning, this is Pigsy. I'm doing another video. Today I'm just going to mention about Orgone. I recently made some devices, and to be honest, they've actually made it difficult to sleep, these devices. The first night I had one next to my bed, I had some interesting dreams. They were like flashes and visions of different things. And the first night I woke up, and it was kind of like it's not one of these night terror things where you got like some form of paralysis. You don't know if something's causing it in the room. It had to be down sort of one side of my body, and then I fought it off almost. And I don't know if that's because of the device. Maybe something was drawn to the device in some way, some sort of weird psychic attack. And then I went back to sleep, and I had a wonderful dream. It had really white sands and blue ocean and big waves, and I was with my family as well, which is a bit strange. So I get the feeling this is something a bit more sort of spiritual than sort of the average. It was very vivid, so I don't know where it was. Maybe it was in a part of heaven, travelling through. And I also saw that some place looked like a bit like hell as well. So that was very sort of unusual. At one point, that was much before drifting off and seeing this place with sort of white sands and so on. Maybe that's the starting point. If you don't sort of qualify, this is as far as you go, sort of thing. So you're stuck in the basement basically if you if you don't the spiritual basement. But yeah, the place did look like it was on fire, to be honest, like lava and so on. And there's some sort of weird, thin, sort of dark creatures down there as well, like goblins or something. So yeah, that was interesting. And then the last night I couldn't sleep. I found I was really awake, and it was getting closer to basically 11:30 at night, and I just couldn't sleep. And so, that's actually just hung on a bed, and then there was sort of like 1 o'clock. I was still aware I was awake, and I was probably awake till like 2 in the morning. And I got up at 3, and I went back to bed again. And I moved the device out of the room. Actually, I moved it into the kitchen. I thought, well, maybe it's the actual device that's keeping me awake, and it could be quite possible. Where I live, it's a block of flats. I've got neighbours above, below, left, right. There's a lot of EMF type energy that's generated from these different flats, and these devices, if they work effectively, I don't know, because I've just sort of created a few different sort of things, and I also combined them with sort of some interesting things in there, sort of like I even had human hair in there, my own human hair, sort of make it quite individual, and magnetite, and sand in there, and Himalayan salts, a bit of humus in there. So there's a bit of a mixture of stuff going on there. And so yeah, it's generating a lot of energy. I've got more projects I'm working on as well. There'd be one that would be basically, it's going to have some radioactive elements in there. And this sort of leads me on to what I want to touch upon as well, which is about Nibiru and things like that, radiation increasing, and that these devices, these Orgone type devices, may actually help a lot if they can. I just need to look at the sort of radiation, especially microwaves. If we could block out microwaves, or basically filter them in some way, then why other people in the area around you could be getting sort of health problems related to microwaves. So they might be getting cancer and all sorts of other things. At least you will have something, some level of protection there, and that can help. The radiation is slightly different. So, but I've got basically I've got some. It's going to be tritium type torch. So I'm going to use that inside a Orgone pyramid. And I've also got some other stuff I got, which was uranium glass. So I'm going to put these beads inside there, and crystals and stuff like that. So the thing will be generating energy for at least 15 years. I think it maximum could last up to 30, and it'd probably be like a dull glow. by the time it gets to 30. But it'd be interesting, you know. It's a good little device. It'd be a good little night light as well. If somebody's looking into sort of for their kids, have a night light like that. And then you can put crystals around it, and then the crystals are going to have the beta wave light. It's going to travel through the crystals, and then I don't know what's going to come out of the crystals. So it's going to sort of charge their energy outwards into the room, and so give sort of different colours and effects there. And also with sort of I've got a little bit of major ordering yesterday, so I've got some aluminium powder, because normally they might use swarf, which is a little different. So it's going to be an interesting project, working with different sort of elements. It'll be my first time at making this triangle. So yeah, I've got, like mentioned, powdered aluminium and some other metals. I've got zinc oxide, and I've got magnetite. So I pop that sort of mixture in there and see what happens. So make the triangle, see what happens. I see once I've done that, I'll show that off at some point. And it was also something, the tale of Reptilians, as I wanted to touch upon. I've become aware of this stuff. Basically, there's a group that are a little bit hiding out on the moon. They seem to be causing a lot of trouble here on Earth. They may have some bases that are situated on the planet. But I also noticed when I was sort of like a full supermoon, there was a blue glow aura around the moon, and I thought, well, maybe it's got an atmosphere. It may be an atmosphere, but it also might be a type of Orgone energy that's actually it's been ciphering off the Earth, and that makes sense why they traumatise humans with war and stuff. Is the basics of generating this energy for them to feed off, because maybe they need to break the guard around it. Maybe the energy actually wants to accumulate back into the Earth, but by traumatizing it, they can release this energy and it can be absorbed elsewhere. Basically, there was a big war, and there was some sort of truce or agreement, peace agreement signed. A group of Draco reptilians stayed back on the moon. And there's a part of it they said they were doing observing this sort of human species. I think they got limited to how much direct involvement, otherwise it would break the treaty and they're violate and cause war. But there are set things they've got around it, like making deals with the Earth government to do stuff, and also when humanity rose again, we basically from our sort of ashes, as you say, we basically, as our groups got set up, they infiltrated certain groups and started adding reptilian genetics. And this was for the purpose of sort of hacking in to the species and trying to incarnate it in sort of human forms. So basically any form of infiltration of our society. It started in China, I believe, was the Draco, and then other large families also rose to power who had reptilian influences, and like what we've got with the monarchy, there's certain influences there, but there's different factions within them, the groups of reptilians, so they don't all get along. And even though there's some New World Order in place, there seems to be still some division. I think that's the problem. That is why dark forces fail, because they can't organise themselves into peace. They're always looking for domination over each other. So there's always going to be these factions that sort of conflict. But there are good sources on this planet as well, and it's being monitored by other basically councils out there. If for some reason the US goes nuclear war onto some place like, I don't know, Russia, or I think Russia's probably actually a part of them is connected to the New World Order, even if they're resistant to the rest of the factions. But somewhere like North Korea, if they start threatened, if they're going to nuke them, whatever, if they want to put fear into the US, it won't be to attack the US, because that's what they want. you just fire a nuke up at the moon, and then say it was a nuclear test, and you'll see the reaction there. They would go ballistic, and also it trauma them reptilians up there as well. They wouldn't be too happy about it. I don't think the moon will split in half or anything, and sort of come down. But I'm sure that would actually, that would basically put the frighteners on them. So anyway, I'm going to draw this video to a close, and speak to you soon.